Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now this is the SV trim in the all-wheel drive. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, and then go for a spin around. So now we're behind the wheel of the 24 Nissan Rogue. And before we even get going, let's touch on some changes from the 23 to the 24. Now, a lot of differences are going to be on the exterior. So this one's got a new grille, a new rear design, and it does look really cool. I like that new chrome grille. And again, this is the SV trim level. So this is kind of the second trim up. You can go up to the SL or the Platinum model as well, but there is a lot of cool styling on the Rogue and a few differences inside. Now, a bunch of those features that are going to be different would be more on the SL and the Platinum, where it does change to the Google assisted 12.3-inch display, where this is going to get more of the standard one, but it still works really good. So let's go for a little spin around. So as we take off here, you might hear us kind of crunching around in the snow. We got hit with about a foot of snow last night, so I thought that was a great time to try out the all-wheel drive system. Now, Nissan Rogues will come standard in front-wheel drive, but if you opt for the all-wheel drive, it's going to definitely help you out in these conditions. Now, I've been driving around a little bit this morning, and it's pretty good. It's an intelligent all-wheel drive system. So most of the time you are going to be in front-wheel drive to get the best possible fuel economy, and then if it senses any slipping or the need for the all-wheel drive system, it can kind of bite in and help you out. Now, there also is a drive mode select down here. So when you're in drive, you can kick it over to the snow mode, and that drive mode is going to also work with the intelligent all-wheel drive system to help you get the best possible bite and traction. But this Nissan Rogue is going to be powered by a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine. So it's a little bit different than maybe most people are used to, but it's a very convenient little power plant, makes about a couple hundred horsepower, and fuel economy is awesome out of this vehicle. So even with the all-wheel drive Rogue, you're still looking at 35 mpg on the highway and about 31 combined. So the front-wheel drive gets a couple mpg better, but like I said, most of the time this is going to be in front-wheel drive to help you get that best possible mileage. But I mean, if you put your foot down, that little turbocharged motor kind of gets you up and moving. I think for 95% of the time, it's more than enough to get you out onto the highway, get you running around town. I think it's a good little power plant, and this is connected to a CVT transmission, so it's just a smooth transition. I know it might not be people's favorites, but it works really well, and it does help you get the best possible mileage. Now, a few safety features in the Nissan Rogue. This will have the Pro Pilot Assist. So you can turn that on. That's going to give you things like blind spot monitoring. It's going to give you adaptive cruise control. There's a lane departure mitigation system. So just even here, as I moved over to the turn lane, I didn't signal right away, and it will give you feedback on the steering wheel to let you know that you might be swaying out of your lane. Now, if you don't want this stuff, right on the steering wheel here, you can click, go right down to driver assistance, and you can kind of change any of those settings, whether it's a warning or intervention. So that's really nice. If you don't want all the settings, it's easy to turn them on and off. And then the quick buttons on the steering wheels make it very convenient for when you're on the go to pair with that safety system to keep your focus on the road ahead. Now, this vehicle also will come with Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. Now, it's a USB-C connection down here in these models, and as you work your way up the trim level, you're going to have wireless Apple CarPlay as well as an Android Auto. But this infotainment system is great. I paired my phone up here. I've got Bluetooth audio. I can take my phone calls. There's also a voice control button on the steering wheel that you can use if you want. But overall, I mean, it works great. That backup camera is also built into this infotainment screen. And then you are going to have rear parking sensors with the SV model here. Now, if you opt for the premium package or go up to the SL or the Platinum, there's also a 360 surround view camera and a ton of other equipment that come with those models. But I think the SV, bang for the buck, is probably the best one. These cloth seats are extremely comfortable. That was something Nissan has always done right in the past, and the Rogue here is no different. As you work your way up, you can add heated seats, you can add the ventilated seats, as well as the heated steering wheel, which on a day like today when it's freezing, that might be something I'd opt for. But this SV does come with keyless entry on the outside. Then you have a push button start in here, and that also is going to be paired with the remote start on the key fob. So I fired it up before I even hopped in today. It was nice and warm and ready to go. Now let's touch on our digital gauge cluster here. So it's really easy to go through. It's going to tell me my speed, some of your trip settings, some of your tire pressure monitoring would be in there as well, and then just shows your audio and then that safety from that Pro Pilot Assist. So when you kick that on, that's going to show your forward collision, the blind spot, as well as the lane departure, and then like I said, you can adjust it from there. But there also is paddle shifters on the steering wheel. So I know it's a CVT, but if you want, you can just use the drive mode to click it again to manual, and it kind of gives you a manual drive feel. So if you feel like getting a little sporty, you can kick it over into the sport mode and then use the paddles, and it does make it a little more fun to drive. Now, these roads are still a little slippery and covered with snow today, but I think the tires and bite are great. This one does have the 18-inch new designed wheels for the 2024, and I think it looks really cool on the exterior. Like I said, that design language on the outside, you can obviously tell it's still a Nissan as it keeps the overall design language for the brand, but some of that wheel change or some of the grille design stuff does add a little bit more flair and does look pretty cool on the exterior. But as far as inside goes, there's a ton of storage in here. The rear cargo hatch is a power liftgate for this model, and then you do get a 60-40 split rear seat. So if you want to kick the seats down or keep somebody in the car with you, you can certainly do it that way, and you do get a lot of room in the back row. There's USB-C charging back there. There's also vents in the SV model and a lot of legroom. Where I'm driving comfortably, I was more than happy sitting in the back seats for 4 adults or 5 if you need to squeeze in. But I think for a midsize SUV, you are getting a lot of room in here. Plus, as far as storage goes, I've also got another little storage cubby just underneath the shifter here. So if you're putting your purse down there or any other stuff, that makes it very convenient to have a lot of storage in the large center console here and the armrest console. It's great. I love the layout and design with the cup holders. It just keeps everything easy and simplified when you're on the go. So overall, what do we think? It's really quiet in here. It's really comfortable. And now this one, price-wise, is gonna be about $34,270. So that adds a few different things. This red color is also an upgraded color, which I think looks really nice with kind of the darker wheels as well. But for the money, I think the average new car price in America right now is like $48,000. So at 34 grand, this one seems like you're getting a lot of equipment for the money. All that safety stuff built in, the Apple CarPlay in here and that good stuff, plus just the overall layout, the quiet of the cabin and the comfort of the seats. I think if you're in the market for a crossover SUV, you have to add the Nissan Rogue to your list to come out, take for a spin, see what you think. So that was just a quick look and drive at the new Nissan Rogue. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by any time. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.